哈利波，我们准备好了没有？哈利波，哈利波，你们都准备好了吗？我们可以开始。别说话。Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.那么多人说话，谁想讲课？Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, we want to explain about the significance of initiation in this Krishna conscious process. Subhuti. We want to explain the significance. Hare Krishna. So Krishna consciousness is a very scientific process. If we follow the process step by step, we will come to the desired result. We will get perfection. We have to understand we are all spirit souls, but we're living here in the material world, in a material body. The material body has senses, material senses, and they constantly demand attention and give us a lot of trouble. Subhuti. Haribol. Subhuti. So Krishna conscious process is training all of us to control the mind and the senses.
Krishna 知觉的这些程序，就是让我们控制心意和控制感官。
Our mind and senses are always agitating us, giving us a lot of problems.
我们的感官总是让我们很激动，给我们带来很多的麻烦。
Our tongue likes to talk so much. We like to speak all the time.
我们的舌头总是喜欢说话。
When we're not speaking, we like to eat.
当我们不去说话的时候，我们就想要去吃。
So we spend a lot of time just eating and talking.
我们花了很多的时间用在吃和说话上。
And often our talking is only useless talk of no importance.
而我们的这些说话都是一些很无用的谈话，总是谈一些不重要的事情。
Just like in a village, when people meet in the village, they will talk to each other, especially the ladies, they will talk.
就像在乡村里面，这些人们坐在一起谈话的时候，总是会谈论一些女士。
And they like to talk about other people.
他们也喜欢谈论其他的人。
They like to talk about different things which are happening, what happened to this person, what happened to that person, where did they go, what did they do.
他们总喜欢谈论其他人所发生的事情，这个人去了哪里，这些人做了一些什么。
And so in this way they pass their whole day, and the whole day days become years, and years become a lifetime.
于是就这样一天一天的过去了，一年一年的过去了，然后这一生又过去了。
And at the time of death, they give up the material body, and they have to take another body. They have to come back again in the material world.
当他们离开身体的时候，他们就放弃这个躯体，然后又去到另外一个躯体。
Next life, they may become a bird and live in the tree.
他们有可能会成为一个鸟，然后住在树上。
And you can hear the birds talking and how they have so many things to say to each other.
我们看到树上的那些鸟，它们总是在说话，它们总是相互的谈论。
Then there are dogs. They also have a lot to say to each other. You can hear them speaking, barking.
我们会看到那些狗相互之间，它们也会谈论，它们相互会争吵。
So, people, although we may have the human form of life, our talking is not much different from the talking of the animals.
即便我们有这个人体生命，但是我们的谈论跟动物之间的谈论并没有什么太大的区别。
We don't always know how to make the best use of the human form of life.
我们并不知道如何恰当的运用人体生命。
The human form of life is very rare.
人体生命是非常罕见和罕有的。
The Vedas tell us there are 8,400,000 different species of life.
伟大经典告诉我们，总共有840多万种生物的形式。
And from these, only 400,000 are human species.
只有40万种是人类。
So we're very fortunate to have a human body.
生命。
We enjoy many facilities in the human form of life which are not there in the animal species.
我们在人体生命享受着很多的便利设施，而这些便利设施在动物的躯体里是无法享受的。
We have schools to go for education. We have hospitals to go for medical treatment.
我们有学校可以去受到教育，我们有医院可以治疗我们的疾病。
Our living standards are much better than the animals.
我们的生活条件和水准远比这些动物要高。
So we're given more facilities, but we have more responsibility.
我们有更多的这个设施，因此我们也应该承担更多的责任。
We have to recognize the responsibility of human life.
我们应该认识到我们自己的作为人体生命的职责和责任是什么。
We've been very fortunate because we have the association of devotees. There are many people, but not all the people have association with devotee.
我们非常的幸运，有能够得到奉献者的联谊，因为虽然有很多的人，但是他们并没有机会能够得到与奉献者的联谊。
In the association of devotees, we learn what is the proper standard of living and behaving.
在与奉献者的联谊之中，我们知道，作为一个奉献者应该如何去行为。
We learn, for example, proper cleanliness.
我们知道这个恰当的这个清洁是什么。
We learn about bathing every day and changing the cloth, changing the dress.
我们知道应该每一天沐浴，每一天换衣服。
We learn about being merciful and being kind to other living entities.
我们学习到应该非常仁慈、友善地对待其他的生物。
Not killing animals involves also not eating animal food.
不要杀害其他的生物，这意味着不要吃动物的食品。
We eat fruits and vegetables and grains. We don't eat meat and fish and egg.
我们吃五谷、蔬菜和水果，但是我们不吃鱼、肉和蛋。
Then we learn about austerity, practicing humility. Genuine humility is an austerity.
然后我们学习如何做苦行，保持谦卑。
Just like all of you to sit there and be quiet and listen to me is a great austerity for you.
就像你们大家所有人都在这里坐着，聆听我讲话，这对你们所有人来说就是一种苦行。
You must be thinking, how long is he going to speak? When is he going to stop?
你们肯定会想着，我会讲多长时间？我什么时候就能停止这个讲话？
Are you thinking like that?
你们是这样想吗？
No reply. 没有人回答。
没有回答。
Okay, so we learn also about truthfulness.
我们同样也学习说真话。
We should be truthful. We should not lie. We should be honest.
我们应该说真话，不要说假话，总是保持真诚。
In this age, it's very rare that people have these kind of qualities.
在这个年代，人们有这样的良好品质是非常罕有的。
So, coming to Krishna consciousness, becoming a devotee of Krishna, we understand about these 4 qualities.
成为 Krishna 的知觉的奉献者，成为一个奉献者，我们得了解这些品质，4项品质。
Right? Do you remember the 4 qualities?
你们还记得这4项品质吗？
Cleanliness,
清洁、
mercy,
仁慈、
austerity,
苦行、
and truthfulness.
说真话。
So, just having these 4 qualities, that is not really bhakti yoga.
但是仅仅有这4项品质，并不是奉爱瑜伽。
That is only the that is the level of civilized living.
这是一个很文明的生存的一个标准而已。
We encourage all people, everybody, to follow these kind of principles.
我们鼓励所有的人都遵循这些原则。
But we want to go further. Because you may follow the 4 principles, that is not going to take you back to Godhead.
你仅仅只是遵循这4项基本原则，但是你并不足以回归守神。我们应该走得更远。
We have to do a bit more than just simply follow 4 principles.
仅仅遵循4项基本原则是不够的，我们应该做更多。
We have to develop our consciousness of Krishna.
我们应该发展我们对 Krishna 知觉。
And to do that, you have to take shelter, first of all, of a representative of Krishna.
而要做到这一点的话，我们必须托庇于 Krishna。
We have to find out a teacher to guide us and to help us on the path to becoming a devotee of Krishna.
在成为 Krishna 的这条道路上，我们得找到一位老师来指导我们。
So, initiation is the process of beginning that education, that training of developing our consciousness of Krishna.
启迪是教育我们和训练我们的一个开始，成为 Krishna 奉献者的一个开始。
Initiation means the beginning of our strict practice of the principles of bhakti yoga.
启迪只是我们来开始修习奉爱瑜伽原则的一个开始。
In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has described a yoga ladder.
在国家梵歌中 ，Krishna 讲述了瑜伽阶梯，
How there's a progression from the basic platform of material life onto the spiritual platform.
讲述了从基础的这一个
From the beginning of human life to the spiritual platform.
从基础的人类生活上升到一个灵性的层面。
We have to develop our spiritual consciousness.
我们应该发展。
People have consciousness, but most people are just like the animals, only animal consciousness.
人们有知觉，但是大多数的人们只是动物的知觉。
Animal consciousness is where is food, where is sleep, where is sex, and how to defend.
动物的知觉是哪里有吃的，哪里有睡的， 哪里有防卫，怎么样去防卫。
So that is animal life, but human life is meant for something more than that.
那是动物的生命，人体的生命应该比动物要高。
Human life is meant for inquiry, to ask, who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going?
人体生命应该询问我是谁，为什么我在这儿，我应该去哪里？
When we give up this body at the time of death, what happens? Where do we go?
当我们放弃这个躯体的时候，会发生些什么事情？我会去到哪里呢？
Educated people can understand that the body is only the dress, but within the body there is the spiritual particle, the self or the soul.
一个受过教育的人知道，躯体只是一件外衣，而在这个内在，它是有一个灵性的灵魂的存在。
We want to develop our consciousness as a spiritual being, not just as some material body.
我们不是一个物质的生物，而是一个灵性的灵魂。
The material body is like the dress. And just as we give up the old dress, we put on the new dress. We give up the old body, we put on the new body.
就像我们放弃一个旧的衣服，穿上一个新的衣服；我们放弃一个旧的躯体，换上一个新的躯体。
So we want to awaken consciousness, first of all, that we're not the body, that we are all souls. Then we want to understand about the Supreme Soul.
首先，我们了解我们不是这个躯体，我们是这个灵魂。在这之后，我们才能够了解至尊的灵魂是什么。
Behind this whole material world, there is a controlling there's a controlling energy, a controlling personality.
在这一切物质的背后，有一个至尊的控制的能量，一个至尊控制的人物。
When we look at the world, we look at the planets, we see there is so much order. There are signs of creation.
在这个物质之后，我们可以看到很多的科学，有很多的创造。
Creation means there must be a person who created. So we want to know who is that person.
创造的意思是一定有一个创造者，我们得了解这个创造者是谁。
So the Vedic literature described to us about the nature of that creator, that being who is responsible for the creation.
伟达经、伟大的知识和文献就告诉我们，这个创造的本性，这个创造者是谁。
Some people think creator must simply be some energy. They think everything just comes from energy.
有一些人认为，这个创造者可能就只是一些能量，一切创造只是由能量所创造的。
But we understand that energy, even that the energy must belong to someone. It comes from a person.
I can't.
Can you hear me? Voice is breaking, huh?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, so I
Yes,
said,
sometimes breaking.
yeah, I said that we have to understand that energy which is used for creation. Haribo, can you hear me?
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
that energy which is used for creation comes from a person.
而那个创造的能量一定是来自于一个人的。
Just as we are persons, the person behind this world is also, there's a person behind this world also.
就像我们是一个人类，在这个创造的之后，背后也是一个人。
We are imperfect persons, but the Creator is the perfect person.
我们是不完美的人类，但是这个创造者他是一个完美的人。
We want to understand more about the nature of that Creator. We want to know about His activities and His character and His qualities.
我们想知道更多关于这个创造者他的品质、他的活动。
So the Vedic literature guide us, they help us to get this information.
所以伟大的这个知识就告诉我们、指导我们、给予我们这些知识。
Human life is very special, that it's only in the human form of life we can understand these things.
人体生命非常罕有，只有在这个人体生命之中，我们才可以理解这一切。
Animals, they don't have that ability to understand.
动物的生命，动物它没有这个能力去理解这一切。
They don't have any philosophy, they don't have any religion.
他们没有哲学，也没有宗教。
They just simply know eating and sleeping.
他们只是吃和睡觉。
And if people are only interested in these things, then there's no difference between them and an animal.
如果人们只是做这些事情的话，他们和动物就没有什么区别。
Srila Prabhupada used to say, the dog runs on 4 legs and the human runs on 4 wheels.
圣帕帕德经常说，动物有4条腿，人们有4个轮子。
But the purpose is the same. They're thinking the same thing. The human and the dog, where is food, where is sleep, where is sex?
但是，他们人和动物，他们的目标都是一样的，哪里有吃的，哪里有性生活，哪里有睡觉的地方。
So we want to come to a higher platform to understand the nature of the soul, our spiritual nature.
所以我们想到达一个高的这个层面，一个灵性的层面。
So there's a process by which we do that. And that process is the practice of bhakti yoga.
所以现在有一个程序去解决，而这个程序就是奉爱瑜伽。
Bhakti yoga involves chanting the holy name of Krishna, chanting the Maha Mantra.
Bhakti 瑜伽的程序是唱诵主的圣名。
And we learn the science of bhakti yoga under the guidance of a bona fide teacher.
而我们学习奉爱瑜伽是通过一位正宗的灵性导师。
A bona fide teacher is one who is trained by his own teacher, who had a teacher himself, who studied under a teacher, and he learned from his teacher.
一位正宗的灵性导师，他也是被他的灵性导师所训练的。
Just like I studied under my teacher, Bhaktivedanta Swami. I met him in England, in London, in 1971.
就像我是从圣 Bhaktivedanta Swami 那里学习的。我在1971年的时候，在伦敦与他相见。
Many of you were not even born.
在那个时候，或许你们很多人甚至都没有出生。
So I've been practicing bhakti yoga since that time.
所以我从这个时候开始起就开始学习奉爱语。
Also, my spiritual teacher, he studied under his spiritual teacher.
同样，我的灵性导师他也是从他的灵性导师那里学习的。
You have to understand there's a line of teachers which goes all the way back for thousands of years.
我们得了解，所有的这些老师都是从前一辈那里去学习的，这持续了1000年、上千年以上。
And the original teacher is Lord Krishna himself.
而原始的那一位灵性导师是主 Krishna 本人。
Lord Krishna gave the Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma, who is the first person in the universe.
主 Krishna 把伟大的知识给予了主 Brahma 是这个宇宙的第一人。
And Lord Brahma passed this knowledge on. Lord Brahma had many sons, and one of his sons was a very great devotee named Narada.
主 Brahma 给予他有很多的孩子，而他一个其中非常有名的孩子叫Narada。
And then Narada had many disciples. One of his disciples was Vyasa.
他有很多的门徒，其中他的一个门徒叫Vyasa。
And Vyasa, he had all the Vedic literatures written down for the benefit of people in this age.
Vyasa 写了很多的灵性的经典，为这个年代的人类。
Vyasa understood because Vyasa appeared at the beginning of the Kali Yuga, so he understood what was going to happen in the Kali Yuga.
Hare Krishna。Vyasa 在这个年代的开始写了很多的经典。他出生在这个年代之初，写了很多的经典，为这个年代的人类。
He knew that people in this age would have very bad memories.
他知道这个年代的人类有很多就是说记忆力都特别的差。
Previously, people would come to the Guru and they would stay with the Guru and they would hear from him and they would remember everything they heard.
在以前，人们是从灵性导师那里去聆听，他们和灵性导师住在那里，只是聆听灵性导师的，他们就可以记住这一切。
So, nowadays, people don't remember anything and they don't go to the Guru. The Guru has to come to them.
现在的我们的这些人们的记忆力非常差，他们也不记得任何的事情，所以 Guru 去找这些人。
So in this age, we have a short life. We don't live very long. We're generally very lazy, and we're also very unlucky.
而且在我们这个年代的人们，我们非常的短寿，我们非常的不幸，我们也非常的懒惰。
We're always disturbed by our mind and senses.
我们总是被我们的心意和感官所打扰。
And we're easily cheated and misled into wrong paths.
我们总是喜欢欺骗和被欺骗。
So all of us, we have to be very careful about what we do and think very carefully.
所以我们所有的人都应该非常的小心，我们在做些什么，我们在思考一些什么。
Don't just be foolish and do anything, don't just do whatever you think is right, but study carefully and try to understand.
去好好的学习，去应该怎么做。
So we're teaching Bhakti Yoga, and the process requires cultivating transcendental knowledge along with detachment from the material existence.
我们学习这个 Krishna 直觉，同时也要保持对物质世界的不依附。
Transcendental knowledge is contained in our scriptures, beginning with the Bhagavad Gita.
超然的知识在以薄伽梵歌作为基础。
And then we go on to study Srimad Bhagavatam. And then there's another book, Chaitanya Charitamrita.
在这之后，我们学习圣典薄伽瓦坛，而在这之后，我们学习 Chaitanya Charitamrita 永恒的 Chaitanya 经。
We have many wonderful literature for the inquisitive person to study and to get more knowledge.
我们有很多的经典，让我们学习更多的知识。
And we have to also cultivate some detachment from the material existence.
同时，我们应该也培养一些对物质世界存在不依附的这种品质。
That means cultivating some humility.
这意味着我们得培养一些谦卑。
As devotees, we learn to bow down and to respect each other.
奉献者应该顶拜，应该相互尊重。
Devotees like to become the servant. They don't want to be the master. They like to be the servant.
奉献者不想成为主人，他想成为仆人。
The position of the servant is better, is more pleasing than being the master.
作为一个仆人，比这一个仆人更取悦他人。
Lord Krishna is the original master of everything, everyone.
主 Krishna 是原初的主，是所有人原初的那一位主。
But Lord Krishna saw that his devotees are getting more pleasure than him.
但是 Krishna 发现，所有的奉献者竟然比他获得的快乐要更多。
So he also wanted to become, Lord Krishna also decided he wanted to become the servant also.
所以主 Krishna 也决定，他也想成为一个奉献者。
Therefore, 500 years ago, Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya.
在500年前，主 Krishna 来了，他显现为主 Chaitanya。
And Lord Chaitanya is teaching everyone to be the servant of the servant of the servant, to be very humble.
主 Chaitanya 告诉所有人，我们应该成为仆人的仆人的仆人，应该非常的谦卑。
Lord Chaitanya came to teach everyone the importance of chanting the holy name of Krishna.
主 Chaitanya 也告诉我们，唱诵主 Krishna 的名字的重要性。
And Lord Chaitanya taught everyone to awaken their spiritual consciousness through this chanting, and to dance joyfully and exhibit their happiness and their transcendental pleasure.
主 Krishna 主 Chaitanya 告诉我们，唱诵和跳舞的方式来唤醒我们灵性的这种知觉，同时让我们变得有超然的喜乐。
And Lord Chaitanya also encouraged the distribution of foodstuffs offered to Krishna.
主 Chaitanya 也告诉我们要派发主 Krishna 的寄语 prasada.
He liked everyone to taste the spiritual food, not ordinary food, but spiritual food, because it's all offered to Krishna.
主柴他尼亚希望每一个人都能品尝到灵性的食物，因为这些食物供奉给 Krishna， 所以它是完全灵性的，不是物质的食物。
Offering the foodstuffs to Krishna gives that food spiritual potency.
把食物供奉给 Krishna 之后，它具有灵性的能量。
And that spiritual potency enters into our body, into our heart. Through the mouth, enters into our body and purifies our consciousness.
而这个灵性的食物通过我们的嘴进入到我们的身体里面，它能够净化我们的知觉。
So these two activities, chanting Hare Krishna and taking Krishna Prasadam, are very, very important and very powerful.
唱诵主 Krishna 的圣名，荣耀 Krishna 的 prasada， 非常的有力量，也非常的重要。
I know you all like Krishna Prasadam, I'm sure.
我知道大家都喜欢 Krishna 的 prasada， 我非常确信。
In the beginning, when Srila Prabhupada first came to the Western country, he was cooking for all the devotees.
在最初圣帕帕德到达西方的时候，他为所有的奉献者做饭。
Devotees would come and Prabhupada would cook for them, and everyone would enjoy eating the nice prasadam.
奉献者来，然后圣帕帕为所有的人做饭，所有的奉献者都非常享受 Krishna prasada。
And Prabhupada then trained the devotees. He trained the people, the men who were coming. He trained them how to cook, and then they took over and they would cook.
圣帕帕德还训练那些来的人，教他们做饭，让他们做饭。
I remember when I first used to come to China, I used to bring with me one pot and one stove.
我记得我来中国的时候，我经常会带一个罐儿，还有一些豆腐。
And I was cooking for myself every day.
我当时每一天都做饭。
For some time, I had a job there in China, teaching English in one of the colleges, and people would come and eat food with me.
当时我还在中国有一份工作，我在大学里面教英语。当时人们也会来，有时会来我这儿吃饭。
I'm not a great cook, but I know how to cook and something. I can cook something. We all have to learn the art to cook nice food to offer to Krishna.
虽然我不是一个很优秀的厨师，但是我知道做一些菜。我们都得学习做饭的这门艺术。
It's part of Bhakti Yoga, cooking, cleaning, chanting, dancing.
这都是奉爱瑜伽中的一部分，做饭、清洁、唱诵、跳舞。
So, Srila Prabhupada liked all the devotees to learn to do these different activities.
圣帕帕德希望所有的奉献者学习以及做这些事情。
One lady I know, for some time she was the secretary of Srila Prabhupada, in the very beginning of our movement. She and her husband had joined the movement and they became very close to Prabhupada, and she became like Prabhupada's secretary.
我知道有一个女奉献者，她是非常早期的奉献者，她和她的丈夫两个人非常早的加入了 Krishna 知觉。 这个女奉献者她是圣帕帕的非常近的一位秘书。
So one day Prabhupada said to the lady, this time she was a young American woman in her early 20s, and Prabhupada said to her, can you make some baked potatoes for me, please?
当时这个女士只有20出头的这个样子，圣帕帕德有一天就对这个女士说：“你能不能为我做一点土豆？”
给我烤的土豆。
给我一些烤的土豆。
And she said to Prabhupada, oh, Swamiji, I don't know how to cook. I don't know any cooking.
然后这个奉献者就跟帕帕德说：“哦，帕，我不知道怎么做饭，我一点都不会做。”
And Prabhupada looked at her in surprise and said, you're a woman? Already in your 20s? You don't know cooking? How is it possible?
圣帕帕德非常惊讶的看着这位年轻的女孩，他说：“你都20岁了，你还是一位女士，你竟然都不知道怎么做饭，这是怎么可能呢？”
So from that day on, the woman immediately decided, I have to learn to cook. And she learned to cook, and later on she was able to cook wonderful meals to give to Prabhupada.
从那一天开始，她就决心开始学习做饭。之后，她可以做非常美味的饭给圣帕帕德。
Prabhupada himself said he learned his cooking by watching other people cook.
圣帕帕德说，他学习做饭就是看别人如何做饭。
So this is one of the devotional arts. This is part of bhakti yoga.
这是奉爱艺术的一部分，是奉爱瑜伽的一部分。
Just like we offer worship to Krishna, we have to learn how to worship Krishna.
就像我们想去崇拜 Krishna， 我们得学习如何崇拜 Krishna。
It's not something you just do what you feel like. We have to learn how to actually offer properly the arti.
我们不要做一些我们想的、认为做的一些事情，我们应该学习如何做一个恰当的 arti。
So we have devotees all over the world, in Russia, in Africa, in America, in South America. They all offer arti, and everyone does it to the same standard.
我们全世界有很多的奉献者，他们有的是俄罗斯的、南非的、美国的、南美的，他们所有人都给 Krishna 崇拜，都做 arti， 但是他们用的是同样一套标准。
We have to learn the proper standards. We have to keep the standards.
我们得学习这些标准，我们得保持这些标准。
So today we're going to give some devotees initiation. We're going to give them a spiritual name, and they're also going to make a vow to follow the 4 principles and to do also regular chanting.
今天我们要给一些奉献者启迪，他们同时也得发下一些誓言，遵守一些规范原则，然后规范的念诵。
Someone may be following the principles and they may be chanting, they may not be initiated. So they have not made any commitment to devotional service.
有一些人或许也在念诵，或许也在遵守这些规范原则，他对 Krishna 知觉的修习并没有做出一个完全的承诺。
Initiation is a very important part of the process of bhakti yoga. It connects us to the disciplic succession.
启迪是我们奉爱瑜伽的一个很重要的部分， 它将我们能够带入师徒传系之中。
Everyone should have a spiritual master, because by the mercy of the spiritual master, we can get the mercy of Krishna.
每一个人都应该有灵性导师，因为通过灵性导师的仁慈，我们才可以得到主 Krishna 的仁慈。
But without that connection to the spiritual master and to the disciplic succession, then it's very difficult to get the mercy of Krishna.
然而，如果没有和灵性导师的连接，没有和师徒传系的连接，我们很难得到 Krishna 的仁慈。
We cannot go to Krishna independently, just simply on our own. We need the spiritual master to recommend us to Krishna.
我们不可能一个人独自的去找到 Krishna 那里，我们需要灵性导师推荐我们到达 Krishna 那里去。
So the initiation into Krishna consciousness is very, very important. Everyone who is practicing Krishna consciousness sincerely, they must take initiation someday, one day. They have to.
所以启迪是很重要的，每一个人都应该启迪。任何一个修习 Krishna 知觉的人，他应该启迪。至少在某一天之后，他应该启迪。
It is said, everyone, every living entity has a mother and father.
这就好像每一个生物体，它有它的父亲和母亲。
But only the fortunate soul has a spiritual master. And by the grace of the spiritual master, you can get Krishna.
但是，只有幸运的灵魂才有灵性导师。通过灵性导师的仁慈，他可以得到 Krishna。
Initiation is not perfection. It's simply the beginning on the path to perfection.
启迪不是完美，启迪只是通向完美的一条道路，只是开始而已。
So today we have 3 devotees taking initiation. We have one in Shanghai,
今天我们有3位奉献者，
right? One is there in Shanghai. So we'll have.
有一位是来自上海的奉献者。
So maybe we can have. Is Yudamanyu present there today?
Yoda Manu 今天在吗？
Yudamanyu, can you please introduce 那个小白？你可以介绍小白给我们。
Yoda Manu 帕布，您能不能给我们介绍一下白帕布？
哦，谢谢，谢谢。Haribo。
然后这是我们要给发财的一个方法。现在就是。 Hare Krishna， 亲爱的父子们，今天呢要接受Bindhu Madhava主题的是Bhakta百长期，他加入 Krishna 之前已经有15年了，然后呢，他的职业呢是瑜伽老师。 然 这样可以吗？那么自从呢蛋白加入到学以来呢，他一直在和上海的福建的联谊。他和他的妻子罗尔菲亚马达西呢，他们以前开了自己的瑜伽馆，然后呢，在瑜伽馆里面呢，经常呢安排上海福建的联谊，然后呢，我们会定期的在他们的瑜伽馆做节目，然后呢，举办大的节目，知道的那个写仙啊、讲马汤呀等等。另外呢，我们还会在那边做瑜伽唱诵的节目，然后呢，向那些瑜伽圈的那些学生和老师传播圣名另外呢，我们还会经常在那个瑜伽馆里面呢，会接待我们一些年长的贡献者以及灵性导师所以呢，从过去这么多年，大白在我们上海会的就是为我们的上海的这个传播Krishna资源呢，做了很多的贡献服务所以呢，他也为我们就是提供了非常好的场地另外呢，他在过去这几年吧，他每年都会去圣地玛雅府朝拜，然后呢，通过这样的这个旅行呢，能够得到更多的灵性的滋养，而且呢，他很早吧就已经脱避了熏哈马哈拉随着他奉献服务的越来越稳定，他想步入婚姻的这个心态越来越强烈越来越主动所以呢，近期呢，他就是向咕噜正式提出了想要接收起这样的一个愿望所以呢，我们大家都非常高兴。所以在今天这么一个非常吉祥的这个日子里面呢，我们期待咕噜能够给他庇护，能够给他一个非常好的灵性的名字，我们期待着大家。
Haribo! Haribo! Thank you. 感谢玉的曼女 Prabhu。好，我们问小白，我们这个规范是什么？
不是娱乐站，不非常生活，没有
每天念诵多少圈？
至少16圈。
好，你的名字在这里，给你。你的名字是 Bindhu Madhava Das。Bindhu Madhava Das.
Bindhu Madhava.
There's a famous deity in the city of Benares called Bindhu Madhava.
在贝拿纳斯有一个非常有名的神像，叫 Bindhu Madhava。
And Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami in the temple of Bindhu Madhava.
主柴坦尼亚训示桑纳坦哥斯瓦米在贝纳纳斯设立这个 Bindhu Madhava。
So, I've got your beads here. Bindhu Madhava Das Prabhu Ki. Alright, 下一个我们有 Sati Mataji， 我们请 Sati 给我们介绍那边那一个 function 是在那边准备去的 Sati。Hare Krishna。哦，欢欢，谢谢，谢谢。漂亮哦，
好 ，Good day。
I think by me. 好，走，我们问白天教代麦的经，我们这个规范是什么？
不吃鱼菜，没有法性生活，不吃麻将。
每天念诵多少段？
至少6圈。
OK， 你的名字是Krishna Kumari Devidasi。Krishna 是 Draupadi 一个名字 ，Krishna long A。
Krishna 是 Draupadi 的一个名字。
Kumari means young girl。
Kumari 是年轻的女孩。
So Krishna Kumari Devidasi。你的念珠在这里啊。给你 Krishna Kumari Devidasi ki 下一个我们到那个Chanchala Mataji 那边 Chanchala 顶拜 Chanchala 欢谢谢。Chanchala 给我们介绍那边一个奉献者也要去的，他叫什么名字？
他叫徐宝英马达基，他是2017年开始加入我们，然后就每周保持跟我们的联谊。每天16圈，他读了所有的圣殿国家瓦坛，还有主彩参加parampara，他就全部都阅读完了。他很喜欢读书，也很喜欢派书，派发圣名。他也给予我们这个父爱中心很多的捐助。他每年都会捐出几千块钱来用于我们这个中心的房租他是一个非常热情和积极服务的奉献者，所以我推荐他得到Guru的仁慈和庇护，请求您给予他启迪，让他能以后能做更好的、更多的服务。
好，走Sumataji。过来，我们需要问你，我们这个规范原则是什么？这个规范原则是什么？
不吃鱼肉蛋，不过非法性生活，不赌博，不使用麻痹品，每天坚持练诵16圈。
很好。你的名字，给你名字 Sunder Subhadra Devidasi。Sunder Subhadra Devidasi ki jai。你的念珠，我们给你。我们当奉献者来那边的时候，他们可以带念珠给你们。等一会儿。 Okay. So, Sangaran, Shodao Chiti, we want all the devotees, please give them your blessings and encourage them, keep them in Krishna consciousness.
我们希望在场所有的奉献者都能给予这些奉献者们以祝福和庇护，希望他们能够保持在 Krishna 知觉之中。
Help them to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna.
帮助他们得到圣帕帕德以及主 Krishna 的仁慈，
So that they can also go back to Godhead.
这样的话，他们就可以回归守神。
Okay, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Haribo. Haribo.
Hare Krishna, good day.
Yeah, Haribo.
林班尼，我想问，他们想问一下，您今天中午想几点钟不要稍等？
我的课，我们12点到1点有课，1点半应该快到2点可以吃。
2点钟可以吃，
可以，
是吗？